because most people look in the mirror, they see the parts of them that they don't like, but they don't understand what's going on inside. Just to be overweight and to see a lot of skin is one thing, and most people would settle for that a lot of the times. I want to just talk about, and 10 minutes is not a whole lot of time, I just want to talk about obesity. Visceral fat like this affects every single aspect of the body. And as each presentation I do, I'm going to speak about a different aspect of it, whether it's how it relates to diabetes, cancer, the reproductive organs. By the way, the first organs in the body that's affected by obesity is the reproductive organs, both in a man and a woman. But today I just wanted to give it as brief overview as I can. This is 5 pounds, and you really do see how heavy it is. So when I'm very serious, if you were just to take 3 of these, and somehow just either hold it in one hand and make one hand useless, or somehow strap this to you and do all of your normal running around all day long, you would see how bad this is. It's not just ugly. If this was just, what you're seeing here, and I gave you printouts, this is the real deal. This is a fake. This is in surgery. This is a real photo taken in surgery of what this looks like close up. The reason why this is so bad for you is because visceral fat is not just this gelatinous, ugly thing that has no effect on the human body. It's producing, amongst many things that it does do, it produces hormones called estrogen. It's a certain kind of estrogen. When we hear that word estrogen, we always think of the female productive organs, because that is the most powerful form of estrogen for a woman, for her fertility. Then there's a second kind of estrogen called estriol, and that's made in the placenta to feed the baby as it's growing, and then when the placenta is gone, the baby's out, you're done. But the third kind of estrogen is called estradiol, and it's produced in your fat. So the heavier you are, the more you have of it. Why is this so bad? First of all boys and girls, from the day they're born, boys have a certain amount of estrogen, but much more testosterone. There's a nice balance there. That's what gives them their male appearance. Women, we all have a little testosterone from the day we're born, but we have more estrogen, so that's what gives us our female appearance. But when you gain weight and your fat is producing a different kind of estrogen that turns into testosterone in the body. So your hormones start becoming imbalanced. Your male hormones start playing a more dominant role in the body initially for a girl. As you gain more and more weight, your body is going through a male pattern of obesity. You're starting to gain weight now like a man does. When girls first start putting on 2 or 3 pounds, they start gaining maybe a little bit in the buttocks and the hips. And then after that, as they get fatter and fatter, they start getting the big tire around the middle where men gain weight. Then it starts going up. That's why you see young women and older women very broad in the upper chest and the shoulders, just like boys do. Then they get the fat in the back where the bra. This is exactly how men gain weight. And then if a female continues to gain more and more weight, she starts getting the chin hair and the lip hair and the sideburns. And then she starts getting the male pattern of hair loss and thinness, where the men go bald. Here, and in the back. And I see this on a regular basis. So there is more than just being fat and buying larger clothes. This is my point. Second of all, how do our toxins leave our body every day? And by toxins, people always think, poison. I don't eat any poison. No, we all have toxins. Just by living, breathing, and the food we drink, it's got to leave the body somehow. Our pee, our poop, and our pause. Those are the 3 ways. However, the more of this stuff you have in your body, as toxins are trying to leave during the day, this is a sponge. So it's getting sucked up. So picture this. You have all of your major organs here on the inside, your kidney, your liver, your lungs, your heart, your gallbladder, your spleen, your uterus, all of it, all your organs, okay? Enveloped, I can't bend this. Picture this surrounding each one of your organs. 24/7, every single day of the week, every month, every year. You got estrogen going into them, you got toxins going into them, and they're enveloped in this all the time. This is what chronic inflammation is. You hear the word, chronic inflammation, this is what it is. Your organs are inflamed, they're losing their ability, their immune system. You're setting them up for the most microscopic rogue cancer cell in the body is heading like a moth to a flame, right where they can get in like this. They're not going for the healthy organs first. You understand? What's bad about that? And I don't want to get into the whole cancer thing. I'm going to save that for another time. But why is this so bad? Again, Estrogen in the body is a killer because, for both men and women. Number one, we all have estrogen receptors under the breast, all of us, when we're born. And we have estrogen receptors elsewhere in the body. When you have fat like this in the body that turns into estrogen first, and you're a boy, you're developing breasts. This is why boys get breasts. This is exactly why. That's number one. Number two, tumors. Every tumor, there is no exception to this, no matter the grade of tumor. How do they survive? Estrogen. That's it. That's it. Sugar does it too, but estrogen is that. That's why people who are overweight have the most aggressive form of cancers, bar none, every time, no matter where it is in the body, especially breast cancer. Women who are overweight and obese, who have one bout of breast cancer, 50% recurrence chance, unequivocal. So this is why, and people who have breast cancer, you must have heard, even boys, guys, you must have heard of tamoxifen. It's a very popular drug that they give it to women post-breast cancer. Tamoxifen is supposed to remove estrogen from the body. But if you're overweight or obese, it means shit, because you're countering what tamoxifen is supposed to do. There's a limit to what it can do when you're overweight. It's a passionate subject for me because, as everybody knows, my mother's a 3-time cancer survivor, so I really watch my weight to keep my breasts not, obviously smaller, less dense. So if I go to the doctor, if they see a change, they notice it immediately. A woman who's incredibly overweight, that's why they don't find things so early, and by the time they do, it's aggressive. And in men, doesn't get away from this either. Women who have, like, for example, in the private parts area, whether it's ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, for men, prostate cancer, this whole groin area, when you're overweight and you have a flap of fat there, as we know people do, the cancer cells are all feeding right off of this from the fat right in the area. That's why they're so aggressive in overweight people, men and women. And so these are the kind of things that I do in my office. When a client comes in to meet me for the first time, and I'm doing an abridged version here. I mean, I can't tell you, I'll spend an hour just talking to them about this shit before I even talk about the consult, because I really am more important to me to teach them lessons. And if they don't join, all right, I'm not running after clients, but I want people to learn lessons when they come to me. And I'm telling you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I cannot remember ever in all the years I'm doing this where not one person came into me, including nurses, including nutritionists, who have said to me, no one's ever spoken to them like this before. You know what it looks like to be fat. You see it. I don't have to tell you. I want you to see what's going on inside, so you can do the right thing to remove this shit from your body. It's not just that you're fat and your husband loves you and your sex life is great no matter how fat you are. That's not what it's about. It's about living in good health. Because you know what? Nothing good ever comes from being fat. It may not be now, but it's going to get you later. It doesn't bypass anybody. And what I want you to see here, now this is spliced together, but this is also real. I had a client many years ago, I won't mention her name because she's still an owner of many imaging centers in Toms River. She's a doctor. 250-pound woman from behind, 120-pound woman from behind. See this? There it is. Here it is. You see that? That's a difference. Look at the denseness of this woman's bones, nice and thick. Look at that. That's why fat people walk wobbly. That's why they have the most falls, the most fractures. Because this sucks up the vitamin. The sun, fat is a vitamin D, is soluble. So the sun rays that we all need for good bones can't get through here, can it? Can't get through that. So your bones suffer. So again, I'm doing this abridged version, but I'm very passionate about what I do. I think everybody knows. I'm really interested in helping people get slim, but understand why it's important. It's not just to be skinny and to wear skinny jeans and to, especially when you're a parent and you have responsibilities, you want to be healthy to be around. That's my spiel for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Does anybody have any questions? A quick question? If you don't, that's okay, but do you? You're all sitting there in stunned silence.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know, yeah.